but how hard is it to systemize or systematize? I feel like our accents are saying tomato, tomato here, but that's okay. I mean, how hard is it? Because, the thing is, one thing that attracts people to being an entrepreneur is having that freedom and to make changes on the fly and not to be bound by all these regulations and rules that tell them, well, you have to take this step and then the next step, even though it makes a lot of sense. But how hard is it to do?
I love that, because I think there's often a misconception around systemization. People imagine that once you've systemized your business, that you're essentially removing the creativity and the fun and the flexibility. And actually, I found the opposite can be true. And I'll come back to exactly why that is. But in terms of how difficult it is, I think the problem, and what I discovered with starting my most recent business, which is Air Manual, which is an online tool for documenting processes and onboarding as interactive checklists. We developed that tool and we shared it with business owners and leaders and said, this is fantastic. This is absolutely what I need to be able to document these processes and start to improve our ways of working and free up our time. But what we then found is that they didn't do anything with the tool. So what we found is that the problem is often that they set the goal too big. They'd start with this idea of, I need to systemize the whole business. When you set that as the goal, then it's incredibly tricky and difficult. And you just don't have the time, because at the same time as thinking, oh, yes, I need to systemize the business, you're thinking, I also need to bring in another 100 leads and convert them into another 10 sales and then deliver to those. And then I've got to do my finances, I've got to do my taxes, and I've got to do all these things. And actually, you don't need to systemize the whole business on day one. You just need to take one task, one process that's taking up your time, get it documented. And by documented, it can literally mean a series of steps that you are currently taking to do that job, and get that passed to someone else, whether that's an outsourced virtual assistant, whether it's a team member that you're taking on, whatever, or even using it yourself just to speed up the process of perhaps some of the more mundane or complex or time-consuming tasks. And that it really brings me back to that point around systemization and documenting processes. Having those checklists and things doesn't remove the flexibility and creativity, and it doesn't stifle the flexibility to change things if you do it right.